Today is day 142 and I'm feeling great. It's a beautiful day here in Portland, July 28th, 2024. I've gone back to somewhat of a normal life. I'm going to physical therapy once a week, getting to the gym fairly often. I don't have to go in for labs or to see my provider as often as I used to. It really feels good considering everything that I've gone through and all of the things that might have not worked out well. I don't have any fatigue anymore, lots of energy, and I'm feeling, as I said, really great. My white blood cell count, my red blood cell count, my hemoglobin count, platelets and neutrophil counts are all in safe range. So even though they're not yet back to normal, in some cases, I don't require transfusions and I'm able to enjoy life to its fullest. The only thing that is sort of lagging behind right now is the chimerism report from my last bone marrow biopsy. The donor percentage is still not at a level that is satisfactory, and my medical team now is trying to decide what to do next. Probably they'll go back to the donor for some T cells and infuse those, but that is a decision that hasn't been made completely yet. So, I said that it feels like life is back to normal, but it really isn't to a certain extent. I'm still being careful about being around other people. I don't eat indoors at a restaurant. I always wear a mask when I go to the gym or physical therapy. So it's still, life with a lot of precautions. I do need to be careful. And my hair is coming back. That's sort of exciting. In September, a little over a month from now, I'll start the 24-month period of getting vaccinations. So at least starting then, I'll start to have a little bit more of a sense of safety when I'm out and about in the world. And maybe I'll even get to do some traveling. I'll have to talk to my doctor about that. I was really fortunate to not have to leave town to go to another hospital for my transplant. And as a result, I was able to come home when I was discharged from the hospital. I had a really wonderful experience as an inpatient, and I've had wonderful care for each of the days since I was discharged. Before COVID and before AML, I was a fairly active community volunteer, and I've decided that I'd like to get back to doing some volunteer work, and I'd like to go to my hospital as a volunteer. So I made application and I was accepted to the program, and on Friday last week I got my placement. I'm actually going to be a volunteer on the bone marrow transplant floor at OHSU, and I'm very excited about the opportunity to give back and to have a chance to give back specifically to patients and their family members who are dealing with AML and going through a transplant. So as a result of the donor percentage being lower than expected, I've had to undergo 2 rounds of chemotherapy as a precaution to avoid the possibility of the leukemia returning. And it's possible that until the donor percentage does come up, that I will need to have additional rounds of chemotherapy. So that is something that is unfortunate, but it's not anything that I'm concerned about. And I don't have any significant side effects from the chemotherapy, which is really good. My next bone marrow biopsy will be at about 180 days. And over the period of time until then, I'm going in for labs, usually once or twice a week, and seeing my provider every other week. So it's a little bit easier now that I'm at this stage of my recovery. I hope all is well with you, and I'll look forward to getting back in touch with you after my next bone marrow biopsy. Hopefully I'll have some good news to share about my chimerism. Take care. See you then.